Welcome to the kingdom. The Humble King Podcast, where real kings speak with purpose. We level up only, let's go hop it. Go hop it. Go hop it. Go hop it.
This is the Humble King Podcast *. Before anything else is said, I want you to understand something important. This is not just a podcast. This is a space for truth, a space for growth, a space where real people can sit back and hear something that actually relates to their life. No pretending, no acting, no fake energy. Just real life. My name is King WT, and this is episode 1, the beginning of everything. And if you're listening right now, I don't think it's random. I think you're here because something in your life is pushing you to look for more understanding, more direction, more purpose. And maybe you don't have everything figured out. Maybe life has been heavy lately. Maybe you've been dealing with pressure, expectations, stress, or even silence that nobody else understands. But you're still here. And that alone says something about you. #brain the reality of life. Let's start with something real. Life is not simple. Nobody gets a perfect start. Nobody wakes up and suddenly has everything figured out. Everyone is learning as they go, even the people who look like they have it all together. And sometimes, the hardest part of life is not what happens to you. It's how you think about what happens to you. Two people can go through the same struggle but come out completely different. One breaks, one builds. The difference is mindset. That's why this podcast exists. Not to act like life is easy, but to remind you that even when life is heavy, you still have power in how you respond. You are not just a victim of what happens to you. You are a builder of what comes next. #fire starting from nothing. A lot of people think starting from nothing is a disadvantage. But I want to challenge that idea. Starting from nothing can actually be your strongest position. Because when you start with nothing, you learn things people with comfort never learn. You learn patience because nothing comes fast. You learn discipline because nobody is handing you anything. You learn hunger because you know what it feels like to want more. And that kind of mindset is dangerous, in a good way. Because when someone who has been through nothing finally gets direction, nothing can stop them. They don't waste time. They don't play around. They don't get comfortable easily. They build. Slowly, quietly, strongly. And one day people look at them and say, how did they get there? But they forget the nights, the pressure, the silence, and the grind it took to become that person. #brain pain has a purpose. Let's talk about pain. Nobody likes it. Nobody wakes up hopping for it. But pain is one of the most powerful teachers in life. Pain forces reflection. Pain forces growth. Pain forces change. Without pain, most people never evolve. Think about it, if everything in your life was easy, would you ever push yourself? Would you ever grow? Would you ever become stronger mentally? Probably not. Pain is uncomfortable, but it shapes you. And the important thing is not letting pain turn into bitterness. Because pain can do two things. It can build you or it can break you. The choice is in how you carry it. You can let it make you angry at life, or you can let it make you focused on becoming better than your past. Every strong person you admire has something behind them that built them. Not comfort, not ease, but struggle. #brain discipline is the real power. Now let's talk about discipline. Because motivation is not enough. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel it, some days you don't. But discipline is different. Discipline is showing up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is doing what you said you would do when nobody is watching. Discipline is what builds consistency. And consistency is what builds results. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. They fail because they stop. They stop when it gets boring. They stop when it gets hard. They stop when progress feels slow. But the people who succeed are not always the most gifted. They are the ones who refuse to quit. Even when it didn't make sense. Even when nobody clapped for them. Even when it felt like nothing was happening. They kept going. Brain people, doubt and silence. One of the hardest parts of growth is people. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will support your goals. And not everyone is meant to go with you into your next level. Some people will doubt you simply because they don't see what you see in yourself. Some people will laugh because your vision is bigger than their understanding. But that is not your problem. Your job is not to convince everyone. Your job is to become. And when you become consistent, when you grow, when you improve silently, your results will start speaking for you. And that's the strongest response you will ever give. Not arguments. Not explanations. Results. Crown self-belief and identity. Before anything changes in your life, something has to change in your mind. The way you see yourself matters. If you see yourself as average, you will act average. If you see yourself as stuck, you will stay stuck. But if you start seeing yourself as someone who is building something greater, your habits will begin to shift. You will start making better choices. You will start thinking differently. You will start moving differently. Identity is powerful. Because you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your identity. So if you want change in your life, start by changing how you define yourself. Not in ego. Not in arrogance. But in belief. Fire legacy thinking. Now let's think long-term. Most people only think about today. What feels good now? What is easy now? What brings attention now? But legacy thinking is different. Legacy is asking, what am I building that lasts? What will people remember about me? What impact am I leaving behind? Because at the end of the day, life is not just about existing. It's about meaning. And meaning is built through what you do consistently, not what you do occasionally. Every small decision matters. Every habit matters. Every choice matters. Because they are all shaping your future self. Crown final message, the Humble King Mindset. The Humble King Mindset is simple. Stay grounded. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Stay real. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. You don't need to be flashy to be successful. You just need to be consistent. And you need to believe in what you're building, even when nobody else sees it yet. Because one day, it will all make sense. The struggle, the silence, the grind, it won't last forever. But what you build during it can last your whole life. And with that, this is episode 1 of the Humble King Podcast Asterisk. If you listened all the way through, I appreciate you. This is only the beginning. Same game, same goal, different rooms. It's King WT. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Welcome to the kingdom. The Humble King Podcast, where real kings speak with purpose. We level up only, let's go hop it. Go hop it, go hop it, go hop it, go hop it, go.